So tomorrow in the beautiful hours of the morning, we actually have a live stream over on the JP side of things where we're probably going to get some answers as to what's going to be coming out next. And I wanted to do a little bit of a video kind of speculating what we might see with this live stream, because I know there are some NA players that don't really keep too much up with JP, but me kind of tracking how the events have been going, I can kind of get a barometer of where we might be going with this live stream, because the fact that they're giving it its own dedicated live stream mean it's going to be something at least somewhat major. And so I've gone ahead and written some of this stuff down over here so we can go ahead and just kind of go over this stuff, make sure I don't really forget anything that we might get that's of note. But realistically, you know, this is just a video for you to sit back, relax, listen, and, you know, just kind of see what some things that I'm thinking that we're going to be getting, to see if I could say, ha, I was right, I predicted it, or people can make fun of me for just getting everything completely wrong. But if you want to watch this live stream with me, I believe it's scheduled on the channel right now to go live at 4:30. About like 15 to 25 minutes before the stream actually starts, so we can kind of get in there, get acquainted. I'll be streaming on both Twitch and over here on the YouTube, so whatever you prefer, I'll be live on there and we can kind of see what's going on and again see if I'm right. Also, if any of this kind of gives you any ideas for what you think we might be getting over on this JP live stream after this excruciatingly long event that we just got, go ahead and leave that down in the comments down below and let me know what your ideas are. But with that being said, let's move into the obvious one, at least what seems pretty obvious to me. We might be moving into the 30 million download campaign. And yes, I do think this is a major thing that is worth actually making a live stream for, because they have said that they want this to blow the other ones out of the water. And if you do recall, we got a free 5-star for one of these download campaigns. And also, it's one of those download campaigns that's a multiplicative of 10, you know, like your 10 million download, 20 million, 30. It's one of these major ones that they're probably going to go a little bit more all out for. But how all out is, I think, the idea that's in question with this download campaign, because I think we all agree that for the 30 million download, we're probably going to get a free 5-star. I mean, how are you going to outdo the other download campaigns if you don't give us another free 5-star? But you can outdo that by maybe opening it up to all of the story lock servants, and some people have even speculated and thrown the idea out there of maybe including some limited servants, which I don't think is that crazy of an idea. I mean, think about it this way: what if you just included it to every servant that's like year 4 and below? So basically you still gatekeep Castoria, you know, your best servant in the game, but you still include a lot of very powerful servants like Kama, Scotty, Ryder, Da Vinci. You have a lot of just very strong servants that came out from year 4 and under, that I think that doesn't really hurt their bottom line all that much. I mean, there's even some other very popular characters in there, like off the top of the head, Okita Alter is very solid now and is a decently popular servant, you know, and if somebody wants to go ahead and go for her, that's perfectly fine, right? If you actually want to give Quick a nice little spin, you can at least get Caster Scotty and at least get access to the base version of using Quick servants, right? That kind of opens that door up to you. So I kind of like that idea. I don't know if they are going to do that or if they'll even be allowed to do that, because there seems to be a little bit of tension in some of the interviews where, you know, we have the development team talking about, I guess, like the board of directors or whoever they are, where when they gave us that free 5-star, they apparently had to like really fight tooth and nail for us to get that, because the board, or, you know, the people that are, you know, the higher ups, did not want us to have that because they thought it would hurt the bottom line. And the development team basically had to say, my brother in Christ, you know, giving people free waiver is not going to hurt your bottom line. They probably weren't going to summon for him anyway. They were going to go summon for Castoria or whoever the more broken support is at the time. So I wouldn't get your hopes up too much about like the 5-star range being expanded, but I think including story lock servants is fairly fair. Like, I think that is a reasonable expectation, that instead of it just being, you know, all of the unlimited guys plus some story locked, you kind of just open it up to all of those guys. I also think that if they do that, they can maybe also include a 4-star ticket that's all the story locked guys as well, which would include banger servants like Salter, who really does not come around all that often. But I think if you also just wanted to open it up to limited 4-stars, I think that's also fine. Because sure, you could get some really powerful servants, like basically any of the 4-stars that released last year for Summer. I mean, we're talking like Chloe, Bardis is really good. Summer's Sith is like one of the better solo servants in the game. She's very, very strong. But then, I mean, what if you're just one of those weirdos? You're just one of those wackos that likes to collect servants, and you haven't gotten to summon on, I don't know, someone like Castor Marie or something along those lines, who basically has never come back ever again. You know, if you're just going for the collection purposes, just let people pick up some of these random servants. I think getting a free 5 and a free 4, and if they're at the very least taking into account all the story locked and all of the unlimited servants, I think that's perfectly within expectations. I don't think that's that crazy to think about. But if they want to go above and beyond, you could also toss in another one of those free 5-star CEs, because again, not everybody was playing during that anniversary and had access to a free Black Grail or a free Kaleidoscope, but you could maybe also open it up to some of the other CEs that you know are very helpful. Like throwing Honey Lake on there, I think would just be kind of a nice thing to do for some people. Or you could even throw on stuff like the Amakusa CE, the one that gives you 3 stages or 3 overcharges of 1 stage for one time. Let me not say 3 stages of 3 overcharge. That'd be a little too broken. But again, a CE like that can be very helpful to people that already have a lot of these other just generically good CEs and are just looking to expand what they can do with other craft essences, you know, stuff along those lines. And then the thing that I would really like to see, the thing that I think makes FGO really exciting, and really any game, you know, gets really exciting when they do this, buffing old units. I think if you wanted to do like an anniversary style of buffs where you take like 10 servants, you know, you hide them, you release 2 a day, something along those lines, you know, keep it a little mysterious. I think doing something like that is always very fun, because it's just waking up the next morning, seeing what the new buffs are, you know, kind of talking about them, speculating on them, then seeing everybody testing out these units and whatnot. I think that's really fun. And I think testing units gets into, you know, more quality of life type things, or really making some of these older bosses repeatable, or making some of these older memorial quests, you know, we could just do them as many times as we want. I think that is also just a very good thing that this game could benefit from. For instance, I play the Dragon Ball Dokkan battle game, and it's super nice to be able to take a new unit into all of the previous hardest content, because it's always all available. You can go in and fight it as much as you want. At least with Dokkan's most recent update, you can fight it as much as you want, but it's very nice to kind of see how these units perform in different environments, you know, environments that are difficult at the very start of the fight, or that ramp up and slowly get more difficult. You know, being able to test them out in FGO in a similar vein would just be very nice to get a better grasp on how good these servants are, because there is so much you can tell from a servant from using, or like looking at their numbers as opposed to using them, right? You know, you can look at the numbers as much as you want. I think you can get really close to telling how good a servant is, but it is just that final little bit of actually using the servant and seeing how they feel in an actual practical, pragmatic setting. So something like that I think would be really nice. I think if they wanted to introduce something like skip tickets, I think that could also be very nice. As someone who plays Arknights, as someone who has put a decent bit of hours into the English server of Princess Connect, rest in peace, and someone that is trying out Blue Archive right now, skip tickets in all of these games are an absolute godsend. Like, going back to games that do not have the ability to auto farm and or do skip tickets is absolutely brutal at times, because sometimes I just want to clock in, just get my dailies over with, and then get out, especially when the game is a bit shorter, or not shorter, I mean just, you know, a bit slower at the time, right? Or especially if I want to go in and I want to farm a lot of mats for like a new servant, it would just be really nice if, even if there was like a daily limit of like, I don't know, 10 skips, it would at least kind of take a little bit of that monotony out. Or maybe this is where they want to implement the Pure Prism shop resetting on maybe a monthly scale. At the very least, you know, it should reset yearly. That's what I thought it was going to do initially, but we didn't have that. So monthly ideally, but just some type of reset ability would also be a very nice quality of life update if they wanted to go ahead and announce that. The other thing that I think they'll also probably talk about is what the next event is going to be. And there are 3 things that I think it's going to be. For one, I think it's a very good shot that it's some type of Halloween event. We are in October, you know, go figure. This is not a 5-head take. ZTL predicts a Halloween event in the month of Halloween. Oh my goodness, stop the presses. This is the smartest man alive. Although the only reason I'm a little bit doubtful of that is that they kind of seem to be a little bit finicky on doing these special events. And part of me thinks that they want to limit the amount of seasonal events that they do, you know, Halloween and Christmas and stuff along those lines, is maybe they want to get a lot of these games more caught up to each other. Because they have said that they were thinking about, you know, cutting some certain seasonal events, or at least more so just doing reruns for seasonal events. So instead of getting a new Christmas event, they just rerun an old one. And I think that's so these other servers can get a bit more caught up, because you can't really, you know, put a Christmas event in July. I mean, you could, I wouldn't really mind, but some people might find that a bit weird. So if you do that, it maybe lets other servers get a little bit closer, because I mean, Korea is just, they recently hit Lost Belt 7, but kind of feels like there's only so close that they can get before they have to retread over, you know, random seasonal events during seasons that aren't appropriate, which again, I'm totally fine if they want to do that, but maybe that's the plan. Again, they don't really tell us why they're doing these things. They just say, hey, we might not want to do as many seasonal events. So I'm left here to kind of speculate. So if they don't want to do a Halloween event, then we could see the Gouda Gouda event. You know, they do a Gouda Gouda event basically every single year, so maybe they toss us in Halloween. It kind of just pops in at random times. Sometimes it's in September, sometimes it's in December, who knows? Maybe it's Gouda Gouda, or hopefully it's a lottery. All right, please, for the love of everything, give me a lottery. They have been throwing servants at us left and right that are really, really strong, and I would like to be able to level up their skills. My BB is sitting at like 222 because I was able to magically pull her, you know, on some of my last multis before she left, and I can't even level her up, dude. I'm out of QP, I'm out of mats, I'm out of everything. All right, just toss me a lotto. I know that I'm begging for it. Everybody else that is also playing JP is begging for it. So please just throw us a boneless angle, and if nothing else, rerun a lotto. I don't even want a new event, just rerun something. Just give me something where I can get a boatload of currency and a boatload of different materials. Dude, I'll take Summer 4, the casino one. I'll take that. I'm so down bad for QP right now. But if it is a new event and it's not a lotto, we'll definitely see at least a new servant, because there's no way they haven't been cooking up a new servant in the last 55 days. Maybe even longer than that, because technically there's, you know, we've had time pass since the event and this video going up. But you guys get what I'm saying, right? So let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Am I too much of a conspiracy crackpot nutcase over here? Or do you think I'm kind of on the money with this one? I think I'm cooking a little bit, right? You know, I've refined my thoughts. I wrote it down, you know, gave myself some bullet points on this spiral notebook over here that I bought for not 75 cents. That means it'll be good for 70, I think 70 video, yeah, 70 sheets. All right, that's 70 videos right there. All right, I can take notes for 70 videos. But that being said, again, would love to see your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, as it does help me out more than you know, especially during these slow seasons, and especially as we're moving into the holidays, man. Toss a brother a like. But with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. You guys have yourselves a nice day, and I'll catch some of you guys at the live stream, where hopefully I won't be half wrong, maybe.